We have 1 week to go in the regular season, so of course we have to discuss the MVP race. We love doing that here at PFF sometimes. Some people don't. Sam doesn't like it at all, but let's discuss. It seems like it's a two-person race. Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees. The funny thing about this, Eric, is I've seen the cases for both quarterbacks, and everybody ends their case with, it's Patrick Mahomes, this is a no-doubter. It's Drew Brees, this is a no-doubter. I've seen strong cases for both. They're the top two guys for us, too. Who gets the nod, Patrick Mahomes or Drew Brees?
Yeah, we're going to go with the way that the markets have shown it here, which is Pat Mahomes is the favorite. We like Patrick Mahomes in terms of our WAR metric. He's worth about 3/4 of a win more than Brees. And many reasons why that's true is because the Chiefs leave so many wins for Mahomes to have to gobble up. New Orleans has played better defense, especially since the first month. They have really good weapons offensively. Brees kind of doesn't necessarily have to fill all the void there the way that Mahomes does for Kansas City, and yet Mahomes has to the tune of 11-4 for the Chiefs.
Mahomes does have better playmakers, though. Let's not miss
Sammy
out
Watkins
on that point.
has been out for the last 6 weeks.
Mahomes has better playmakers. I think the thing we need to discuss, though, is the difference between PFF grades and WAR, because right now we have Drew Brees with a slight edge over Patrick Mahomes in PFF grading. So from a pure play-for-play efficiency standpoint, he's graded a little bit higher, but WAR takes into account value. That's wins above replacement. What makes up the difference in value that puts Mahomes ahead of Brees?
Yeah, it's Drew Brees is probably not going to throw for 4,000 yards for the first time since he's joined the Saints, right? So from a volume perspective, Brees is asked to do literally less than Mahomes is, and yeah, he does. Mahomes does have very good. Travis Kelce's one of the best tight ends in the league. Tyreek Hill as well, but Mahomes is asked to do just more, and he's delivered. Right, his EPA per passing play is about 1/3 of an expected point. It's a little bit higher than Drew Brees. So even though Brees is grading better, Mahomes is generating more value on a per-play basis. Mahomes, every single air yard is turned into fewer passing yards than Brees, seeing that Brees is getting a lot of yards after the catch with his throws with Kamara and Thomas and those guys. So I think just it's more about what Mahomes is asked to do, and it's not that Brees hasn't had a terrific year. His WAR metric this year would be one of the highest that we've ever seen. It's just that Mahomes has answered the call the entire season for a Chiefs team that has probably one of the worst defenses in the NFL and a kind of a broken up offensive line, especially in the interior.
Yeah, and if you look at the Chiefs and their losses, giving up 54 in losses, giving up 43, giving up over 30 in all 4 of their losses.
Yeah.
I mean, even just at a macro level, looking at that and saying, okay, here's what Patrick Mahomes needs to do. He needs to be on point every single week. And look, Drew Brees is having an historic season from a PFF grading standpoint. One of the best seasons we've seen from an efficiency standpoint, but he did have that little bit of a lull, and we've seen them win games 12-9, and we've seen them only score 10 points against the Dallas Cowboys. They've had some inconsistencies, so Drew Brees' best games have been incredible, some of the most efficient outings you will see, but he's had some duds in there, so I think that's part of it too. The PFF grade takes into account the entire season, but if you look at it at a game level, Brees has had far more duds than, say, Mahomes, who's just been incredibly consistent. In his worst games, they're still putting up a ton of points in Kansas City.
Yeah, they've combined to lose their games by 14 points. So, it's one of those where, if Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs put up 9 points or 12 points in a game, their probability of winning would be under 10%, whereas as we've seen, actually, the New Orleans Saints have gone on the road and scored 12 points and won a game. So it's just really, again, it's about volume. It's about what's being asked. How many wins above replacement are available on his particular team? I mean, we have to give a lot to some of those Saints players.
Yeah, because the Saints do have a better defense, and you distribute the wins to other players, right? A couple other quarterbacks. Look, it's a two-horse race. It's Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees, but the next tier of quarterback is an interesting one. Phillip Rivers has had an excellent season. Despite the poor game last week against the Baltimore Ravens, people were calling for MVP for him just a week earlier because people get too emotional about this stuff, Eric. And then Andrew Luck, another excellent season. Where do they rank with regard to Brees and Mahomes?
Yeah, I mean, they're like probably 20% lower, but in terms of quarterbacks, they're in the top 5. And what's really interesting is where they kind of miss out on this. And Brees and Mahomes are 2 of 3 quarterbacks in the NFL who are basically making a bad play less than 10% of the time. Rivers and Luck are a little bit, they're in the 12-13 range. So, and we know that sort of negative plays are more stable than positive ones. So projecting them forward, we just have, a higher outcome for Mahomes and Breeze. But, Luck coming off of an injury where he spent his entire season on IR last year, super impressive that not only are the Colts in the playoff hunt, but he's in this race here. Rivers has been one of the best quarterbacks, of his generation. And it's finally good, that his team success is starting to match up with his individual success.
Yeah, Andrew Luck, our number 3 graded quarterback, Rivers at number 4, but again, Breeze and Mahomes at a different level. What about Aaron Donald? He's 4 sacks away from breaking the sack record. He is the most valuable defensive player. Our numbers show that. But if he gets 4 sacks, are people going to try to put him in the race as well?
Yeah, well, and you say it perfectly, right? So 4 sacks in a 1,000 snap season, whereas 4 passes is 1 drive for the Breeze and Mahomes crowd, right? So it just is, again, a matter of volume. It's a matter of value. We do know that a sack is worth about 2 expected points. So Donald has been extremely valuable for his team. We have him with a WAR value of above 2. So he's certainly somebody who's in the conversation.
Explain that again. That's incredible for a defensive player.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially in a position, interior defensive lineman, where the replacement level is a little bit higher, right? It's easier to replace those guys. He's been amazing, and he has been for a while, both not only rushing the passer from the interior, but also stopping the run. He is, again, one of the reasons why the Rams defense went from kind of a so-so unit early in the season to being one that I think is championship caliber right now. So he's one of the best, and he's, basically a half a win better than any other defensive player in the NFL. So, and there's some impressive players on that list. So he is truly an outlier here. But the NFL is driven by quarterbacks, and that's why, even though he's probably the most impressive player in the league, he's not the most valuable.
So there you go. Aaron Donald, the highest rated player in the NFL. But it's a Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees discussion for MVP. And right now, headed into Week 17, we're going with Patrick Mahomes.